Greetings today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me in a simply download, really. A very strong message hit me that I needed to share with people because, well, it's a long story, but the idea of Billy Meier receiving the original message from the Pleiadians is something that I am very connected to. And I do not have all the answers why, but I do feel that it is part of my past and it is part of what I am here on Earth specifically to experience and to do. And I wanted to talk about something that was very important, that they wanted me to just get out there, no matter how hard it may be to hear. It's something that I think that is important enough to talk about. So the idea is that there is too much personality focus about starseeds that is going on, and alien beings in general. And what I mean by this is that you will have people on YouTube that will give very detailed descriptions of personality traits about alien beings and about starseeds. And this, what I have received as a full message from the Pleadian Council of Light, which I work with and which I have tried to be a medium for them on Earth. What is going on is that it's distracting us from the original intent for the aliens to have even visited humanity. And we are focusing so much on the physical traits, the personality characteristics of aliens. And they really are kind of shaking their heads, and they're worried that there's too much focus on that. And there's a distraction to the higher messages of why they are even in our collective and what it all means. It's fine and good, and there's a little bit of fun involved when Cosmic Empress and many others who like to talk about the Pleiadians or like to talk about other beings focus a lot on their personality traits and say, oh, Pleiadians will do this or they'll do this. And here's the thing. I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about this world. And I want you to imagine every soul on Earth and how all of their personalities are so different. Alien civilizations are not filled of homogeneous beings that act all the same and have the same personality. They don't. What aliens will represent is a civilization that runs by a particular life code and philosophy. And that is how you get in touch with the energy of the star origin that you come from. I wanted to get us back on track about Pleiadians. I want us to understand their messages because I am part of that focus and that mission of theirs that they have set out to accomplish a long time ago through the Mayan civilization, through ancient Egypt, through all these ancient civilizations. They have tried to leave messages for humans. They love us. They are our ancestors. They are part of us. They are our future, our present, and our past. And this is something that's hard to grasp, but if you understand how time is an illusion and the idea that everything exists simultaneously as one, and the past and the present and the future are points of space. There's points of time and space. And so when we want to get in touch with our future selves, this is when we have our messengers from the future come in, or our messengers from the past come in. We are focusing way too much on the personality traits of the aliens. People are getting lost, especially our younger souls, our teenagers that are waking up and are wondering, what star origin they're from, and they're trying to understand themselves. There's so much information out there. I have been told by the Council of Light to read the very first beginning part of this to you so that it's the original message intended by the Pleiadians of why they contacted humanity in the first place, so that we can stop focusing on their personalities or looking at their traits and trying to understand our star origins that way. It's taking away from the original message. And the original message is this. This is Billy's first face-to-face meeting with Semyase, a female Aaron from Pleiades, on 28th January 1975 in the countryside of Switzerland. Semyase introduces herself and explains why Billy has been contacted by the Pleiadians. She also explains the primary reasons for their contact with Billy, which are to warn Earth humans of certain negative extraterrestrials as the time is approaching when a conflict with these degenerate human creatures becomes unavoidable, to assist Earth humans to free themselves of the false sects and religions, and to resolve the underdevelopment of the human consciousness as related to the false sects and religions of Earth, as well as the false ideas that we think of in terms of our division and our disconnect. First, introductory conversation. Semyase says this: "You are a fearless human being." Billy: "I have learned to overcome fear and become objective." Semyase says, "Well, I know. We have been studying you for years." Billy: "Well, that's nice. And why?" Semyase: "Because through you, we want to clarify some things." Billy: "Isn't anyone else suited for that purpose?" Semyase: "Oh, certainly. But we've kept an eye on you because you have been preoccupied with these problems for thousands of years within other personalities, and because you think and act in a real and honest way, and because you have already frequently carried out such a mission in your former lives, even though, for us, great mysteries surround this fact." Billy: "Thanks for the compliments." Semyase: "Do not mention it because you have earned it on your own merit." Billy: "Well, fine, but who are you really?" Semyase says, this is important, "Just call me Du, which is informal German for you, as I also do with you." Billy: "Thanks, but who are you?" Semyase: "I am called Semyase, and I come from the Pleiades." Billy: "From the 7 stars, the 7 sisters?" Semyase: "Certainly." Billy: "A nice excursion, I must say. How did you do that? Perhaps through hyperspace?" Semyase: "Your knowledge is often greater than we might like at times." Billy: "Why, I can keep quiet, and I'm not a blabbermouth." Semyase: "I am aware of that. For this reason, your knowledge is in the right place, and I and all the others are therefore not worried about that." Billy: "Why have you obstructed my way to your ship? Is it because of the film in my camera right now? Would it have been destroyed?" Semyase: "Definitely. I want you to have at least the photographic proof." Billy: "Oh, I see. I shall go public. But how will I arrange that?" Semyase: "You shall, and later I will explain the way." Billy: "Good. But isn't it somewhat dangerous to leave your ship on the ground so openly in case other people pass by?" Semyase: "Don't worry, because we have seen to it that nobody else can come closer than a 500-meter radius. Besides, the beam ship is visually protected by the forest and the hills." Billy: "Then I will be the only one included in this meeting?" Semyase: "Yes, and you know why." Billy: "I understand, unfortunately." Semyase: "Even though you regret it, it cannot be helped now, nor in the future." Billy: "I understand, my dear fellow man." Semyase: "Certainly. Their spiritual consciousness-related cognitions follow the wrong paths. But you have made the effort and have learned. You have already found the truth many thousands, indeed millions of years ago within other personalities and assimilated the knowledge. This is why you stand out from the great masses of human beings on Earth, and this is our reason for choosing you. Billy, you always say we. Does that mean that... Semyase, certainly. I already mentioned that you often know more than we would like. Please keep quiet about this. The truth is difficult enough for human beings as it is. Billy, I have never possessed this knowledge, and consequently, I can say nothing about it. Semyase, you could word it that way, and I know that you will keep it quiet. I know you would even deny the whole event and call it fantasy if anyone should try to force you to speak. Billy, you really know me thoroughly. Semyase, because of this and many other reasons and predeterminations, we have selected you. But now enough questions and answers. Listen very carefully now to what I have to say. Write down everything and tell the public about it, but in a different way than when you carried out your mission in previous lives. Billy, how can I do that when I have nothing here to write on? I also don't have a tape recorder or anything like it. Semyase, do not worry about that. You can write it down later. First, I will explain everything to you so you have an overview. Besides, it is easier for me to contact you later when I can transmit the thoughts to you so you can write everything down word for word very precisely. The Pleadians are telepathic, so they actually send their information to your mind directly without even seeing them. They can do it across the universe. That is where they are consciously and where they have evolved to. Billy, are you thinking of the same method by which you brought me here? Semyase, you are really very knowledgeable and a credit to us. Billy, well, thank you. Semyase, all right then. Please listen now and only interrupt me when you really do not understand something. Semyase's explanations. Number 1. This is the whole reason why the Pleiadians are involved in our lives. This is something to really hone in at this time. Number 1, for some time now, we have had the urge to contact a human being on Earth who sincerely and concretely wants to help us in our mission. Number 2, we have often tried to do this before, but the selected human beings were neither knowledgeable nor willing enough, and often lacked sincerity and loyalty as well. Number 3, but those we could have selected for our endeavors were afraid and remained silent about our coming. Number 4, they insisted they would be accused of being insane and of lying, and that attempts to harm them might be made through official and foolish human intrigues. Number 5, instead, many boastful individuals have appeared who claim to have contacted us, and even to have flown in our beam ships. Number 6, but they are nothing but charlatans and frauds who sun themselves in dubious glory and want to profit from it. Number 7, human beings on Earth have entire organizations that preoccupy themselves with the recognizance of our beam ships, but they possess very few items that are truly authentic. Number 8, they are in possession of many photographs that depict nothing more than some lights and light images of natural origin or quite intentional falsifications. Number 9, only very few of these photographic proofs are authentic and truly show our beam ships. Number 10, most photographs are only montages or photographic forgeries manufactured by frauds and charlatans whose names have since become famous worldwide. Number 11, their subsequent books and written manuscripts only demonstrate a wicked deceit for purposes of showing off or of charlatanry. Number 12, but by the same token, many people have the audacity to link us to human religions. We have nothing to do with religions, nor do we ever want to have anything to do with them. Number 13, not even your so-called sectarians refrain from this step, deceiving their fellow men with religious beliefs. Number 14, these infamous and primitive machinations should be stopped before the whole world falls into their grip. Number 15, were these frauds and charlatans really linked and also in contact with us? Or had they been, we would have offered them an opportunity to obtain very clear photographic proof of our beam ships. Number 16, but because they are dishonest individuals, we have not given them this chance. Number 17, as evidence of this truth, we gave you the opportunity to take sharp pictures of one of our beam ships. Number 18, in addition, we will give you other opportunities to obtain even better and sharper photographic evidence. Number 19, man on Earth calls us extraterrestrials or star people or whatever he feels like. Number 20, he calls us supernatural and he does not know us in the least. Number 21, in reality, we are human beings, just like Earth humans, but our knowledge and wisdom are far superior than theirs, also in technical respects. Number 22, man on Earth has taken his very first small steps towards cosmic space flight, but this means nothing more than the first, still primitive attempts. Number 23, even though he has reached the moon with his rockets, man has not yet reached cosmic space. Number 24, in his current form, he would never be able to reach it. For this, a propulsion system capable of penetrating hyperspace and nullifying the immense distances is necessary. Number 25, space and time are not conquered by space and time, but by spacelessness and timelessness, which means that space and time collapse within themselves and become unidirectional null time. Number 26, in this way, just fractions of a second suffice for the passage through millions of light years without almost any time loss, because null time paralyzes space and time. Number 27, many frauds and charlatans claim to be in contact with human beings from other planets in your solar system and even to have flown with or in their beam ships. Number 28, this is nothing but a lie, for most of the stars they mention and their planets are so desolate that human life cannot exist there. Number 29, other planets, on the other hand, have long since ceased to support life, or else they are in their first stages of development. Number 30, other solar systems, however, harbor a number of various life forms and not only human life. Number 31, the forms of life are diverse, human as well as animal. Number 32, many faunal or even floral life forms have also reached highly advanced levels of existence. Number 33, so there are species that have acquired much knowledge and have freed themselves from their environment. They travel through space and also occasionally come to Earth. Number 34, many of them are rather unpleasant creatures and live in a certain barbarism that frequently is nearly as bad as the terrestrials. Number 35, one must be on one's guard from them because they often attack and destroy everything that gets in their way. Number 36, often they have destroyed whole planets or forced their inhabitants into barbaric slavery. Number 37, this is one of our tasks, to warn the people on Earth of these creatures. 39, to let the people know this because the time is approaching when a conflict with these degenerate human creatures becomes unavoidable. And number 40, an additional task is aimed at the sex and religions, along with the related underdevelopment of the human consciousness. Number 41, Above everything, there remains but one that possesses the power of life and death over all creatures. And number 42, it is creation alone, which has laid its laws over everything. Laws that are irrefutable and have internal validity. 43, man is able to identify them in nature if he makes the effort. Number 44, they show him the way of life and the path to spiritual and consciousness-related greatness, which embodies the goal of life. Development of all aspects related to the consciousness. Number 45, when man indulges in his religions, malevolent, erroneous doctrines, his consciousness wastes away more and more and ultimately leads to a bottomless abyss. 46, man may recognize that a God can never assume the role of creation or decide over man's destiny. Number 47, a God is only a governor as well as a human being who powerfully or dictatorially reigns over his fellow men. Number 48, a God is not creation, but only one of its creatures, like all creatures who are dependent upon creation. Number 49, but man follows his erroneous religious beliefs and claims that God is creation itself. Number 50, he goes even further and claims that a normal human being by the name of Emmanuel, who has also been called Jesus Christ through conscious error, is God's son and creation itself. Number 51, there are various New Age sectarians who go further still and assert things that approach delusion. Number 52, yet as we mentioned already, beamship frauds and charlatans follow in the same direction. Number 53, quite clearly, they put out the lie to the world that we, or our brothers and sisters from other parts of the cosmos, are coming as angels, and the like upon direction from God, whereby they really mean creation, to bring terrestrial mankind the long-desired peace, the truth of religion, and God's protection and commands. 54, this is nothing more than a well-planned lie by sectarians, frauds, or charlatans. 55, because we have never proceeded by such orders, and we also will never do such. Number 56, creation itself never gives commands because it embodies the greatest power in this universe and never has to resort to commands or religions. Number 57, religion is only a primitive machination by man to command, suppress, and exploit others, to which only life forms that are weak in their consciousness succumb. Number 58, bring this truth to the light of the world and make it known to the people. Number 59, this is an additional part of our task. 60, if this does not happen, mankind will slowly destroy itself and fall into complete spiritual darkness, the darkness of the consciousness. Number 61, we know that you are aware of a secret old text whose originals were unfortunately destroyed through the carelessness of our commissionary, who was your friend and regrettably failed through fear. Number 62, disseminate the translation of this text, for it is the only truth authentic one and contains no lies. Number 63, and as we know, you are writing a book about this text and about the real truth. And number 64, to us, it seems to be the most important book ever written by a human being of your earth, even though it is harsh in its language and we will be met with hatred. Number 65. It finally offers the truth to the Earth humans, although it still contains some speculation. Number 66. It may finally destroy the madness of religion within many people, or cause them at least to seriously ponder these matters. And number 67. It is an extraordinarily good piece of work, and you should make it available to the people. 68. For now I have told you all that is necessary, but it cannot be enough. 69. Many additional contacts will follow this initial one, and I will call you at a given point in time. Number 70. But by means of thought transmission, which you call telepathy, I will get in contact with you and transmit further information to you. And number 71. Do not worry that I would do this at an inappropriate time, but only when it suits you. Number 72. I appreciate your ways, as well as your sense of independence, and therefore will adjust myself to you at all times. Number 73. The time will come for you when we will meet in my beamship, where you can undertake flights into cosmic space with me. Number 74. But for the time being, this is not possible, because it would be imprudent due to certain regrettable incidents. Number 75. But I will inform you of this in detail at a later time. Number 76. So take care until next time, when I will transmit additional important information to you. Number 77. In general, our conversations will not be as one-sided as today, since I had to give you explanations only. Number 78. From here on, every conversation will be quite normal, as it is customary, with questions and answers. And number 79, goodbye until later. Okay, so now you know the full mission. It is beyond what we have been delving into as starseeds, and I am being told to help us get on track. What were the important takeaways with this? The Pleiadians are very knowledgeable on the level of understanding our spiritual origin and our potential for higher truth. They came to Billy at a time when there was a capacity to understand this higher truth. And I will say this. I'll say this right here. Something happened in the New Age with starseed information. It's something that is about distracting. It's something that is connected to the Terran consciousness that wants to focus on the ego identity rather than the cosmic self. And so the starseed really is a soul that incarnated to assist Earth with this particular type of mission in terms of helping other humans understand their higher potential and the idea about religion, the truth of it. There is a spiritual way that you can have religion in your life, and there is a material way that you can have religion in your life. Right now, we have churches and different religious leaders that are preaching about the end times, how Jesus is going to come with his angels and save us all from the virus. And there's never any ultimate truth about the quantum reality of you. A pastor never talks about your power, your individual, unique power that you have. They focus and they're distracted themselves outside. And this is why the world is so slow to move forwards and change. The human consciousness bears unlimited potential, and the Pleiadians came here to tell them that. I have been watching YouTubers, I've been watching people talk about the Pleiadians in terms of personality and in terms of traits that have nothing to do with this original message and mission. I am upset at this. I feel that it has distracted us for too long. I think people have good intentions. I think Cosmic Empress has good intentions, but when she talks about how she goes to the pool and she sees Pleiadians and they talk a lot, or they're extravagant, or this is personality. This is not anything to do with the actual original message of why they have been involved with humanity for a long time. They have come as warners in the idea that humanity has been entrapped, enslaved. And this is a story about our liberation. And Starseeds, this is your mission. This is part of your mission. Free your mind so that you may free the mind of others. And you come incarnated with this consciousness intact because you remember this. Now, why have the Pleadians been involved? Why have they come to the ancient civilizations and left these messages behind? Because they have seen the travesty of religion throughout the times. They have seen human sacrifice in the Mayan civilizations, in the Incas. They've seen that. They have seen ancient Egypt enslave others for the quest of worship of other gods and themselves as pharaohs. They have been trying to liberate human minds. And if you are a starseed, this is your ultimate mission and purpose. Something really beautiful about this message that really resonates with me and maybe resonates with many of you who follow my channel. She said it. Semyase said the truth. The truth is within nature. It's not in a pastor's speech unless there is inclusion of the natural origin of our microorganisms evolving through nature, evolution. We must always keep nature in mind as a sense of spirituality, not just a place to walk upon and look at and enjoy, but to give us a sense of our true spiritual consciousness within. And I know this is harsh, like Semyase's message was harsh, and I'm connected to this because this is something that I'm pulled to do, is to help reiterate these original messages so they do not get lost in the noise of human opinion, of biasness, of ego, identity, and assumptions and judgments. There's many videos out there, and many people think the Pleiadians are evil only because they have been the ones trying to help liberate humanity from the tyrants, from the dictators who say that you must believe in a certain God or you go to heaven or hell. This is enslavement and entrapment of the mind. And although you can have a label of a religion, it is about seeing the spiritual wisdom that is beyond the tyrant and the dictatorship of belief. But it is about getting to the heart of the messages within those religions, because not all part of religion is false, but there has been some distortion, some manipulation from those in the top places of power. And I cannot help but feel that we're in a crossroads. And we are just being so distracted right now by personality and ego identity of these aliens rather than seeing them as us, as future potential. To have that knowledge, imagine the entire world thinking like Semyase. Imagine the entire world polite, kind, full of cosmic love. That is our potential as a civilization, as an organism that evolves together, as a macroorganism. So starseeds, that is your true mission. Free your mind, free the mind of others, and help liberate each other in the way that you can. We are at a crossroads where liberation is key, and it starts with the self. It starts with the self. There is nothing else judging you except for your own spiral of creation consciousness that is interested in your highest spiritual development of all species on all planets, of all origins. And it is your personal choice and story that helps you evolve. But creation itself is with you, is guiding you, is you and us at the highest level. That's why Semyase said, call me you, because I have to do with you also, to Billy Meier. Pleiadians have to do with you, with us as humans, evolving into what we are supposed to evolve into. And if we can follow the path of the Pleiadians, keeping nature in mind as a high spiritual place, then we can never get lost in consciousness darkness. But if we follow the fear-based religions that try to say that people are going to hell or heaven and damning people and enslaving people and abusing people, if we follow that and not the wisdom of the words of Jesus or of this certain words that come through certain religions, if we don't follow those, and we follow the things that enslave each other, then we will never be truly liberated. This is our crossroads. We have an opportunity to build a new earth with a freer sense of spirituality, one that's more based on mutual respect and inclusiveness, and get away from the sects that divide each other. Because the truth is, you can have a Christian, you can have a Jew, and you can have a Muslim. And at the core, they can be loving to each other and peaceful to each other. But because of religion and the different ways that has been taught to them, they believe that the other person does not have all the truth and that they are the right way. And the truth is, all of you are creation, our existence itself, and have the right way with inside of you as long as you remain aware and conscious of yourself and are inspired by nature, are inspired to look deeper into the secrets behind nature. It will show you the truth of who you are. It will show you the truth of creation and how it moves and how life always springs forwards. Please, starseeds, let's not get distracted. We are here to to assist in this, to take part in this. This is why the Pleadians came. This is why it's been part of our reality. And this is really what it's about. And I wanted to leave this message on my channel because I do think that we are sometimes getting too distracted by the personalities and the different traits of starseeds. And we are building archetypes, but it's not needed. The only thing that's really important is the higher messages that the Pleiadians left us. I have 2 videos that I left for you, The Enlightened Human Part 1 and Part 2. Following this video, you should watch that. That will give you everything, all the tools that you know and will need inside of you in order to help you on this mission as a starseed, to help assist Earth in its final liberation, in its true liberation on a consciousness level, not a physical revolution, although that can take place in some form, but it is a consciousness revolution. And I still see YouTube videos being put out based on fear and enslavement of humans, saying that people are going to go to hell or heaven, or this is about the end and this is about punishment from God and all this. You can't say that. Not on a quantum level that can be quantifiable when you actually understand science and how energy moves and works, and what you are as moving masses of molecules that vibrate at different speeds and make you who you are and form your reality that you see. So I hope that this gave you much clarity today. The Pleiadian Council wanted humans to get back on track, for starseeds to get back on track. And this is their message coming through me as a joint effort. Much love, blessings, and let's move into our freedom. And let's truly evolve into that reflection of how we can think. And if you want more examples of that, please see The Enlightened Human, Part 1 and Part 2. That is the potential of how the human mind can think. And it will just open up a whole new level of experience. Blessings to everyone. Please take my words in love, in only love, in just getting us back on track, getting us focused on what we really truly need to focus on, and about this crossroads that we're in, where it can determine what kind of future we end up in. And it is about freeing the mind and liberating the spirit, and ultimately, physically, from any of the oppressors and any of the ones that are trying to enslave humanity at this time, that have kept us. We are in a really interesting time and a great chance of changing everything, changing the system into the galactic civilization that will one day reach cosmic space. I'm excited for our future. I believe in us. I believe in our potential. I come from this consciousness. I know that it is a potential in humanity. It is a potential to have a very freeing sense of spirituality that never harms anyone, but reminds you of who you are at the core. Religion was never supposed to hurt people. It was supposed to remind people. Remind you of your energetic and spiritual self while you are here on a physical earth, experiencing life. And the messages have gotten lost and mixed up over time. But we can get back on track. We truly can. I believe in us. Much love and blessings to you all.